We're talking about that decision, and many are saying that decision in the game between Tottenham and Liverpool is going to prove to be the straw that broke the camel's back. VAR, the opening goal by Luis Diaz, ruled out wrongly for offside. Might this lead to a total re-examination of the VAR process? I think Stuart Pearce is of the belief no, it's here to stay. Simon, I think you're of that belief as well. Liverpool, Simon, in the meantime, throwing in words like escalation and resolution. What does that mean?
Nothing.
Calling for escalation and resolution. What are they doing here? Are they stoking the fire a bit?
I think a little bit. I don't quite know what they think they're going to achieve by it. You got the irony of it is you've got a manager behaving incredibly rationally after a game for the first time, I suspect, when the situation has gone against his liking, and acting in a very balanced. I was very impressed with Klopp. Thought he came across in a very, very erudite way, a very fair and balanced way. And then you've got someone at Liverpool thinking, escalation and resolution. What the hell does that mean? What are you escalating it to, and whom are you escalating it to? What are you doing? Are you alleging corruption? What are you alleging here? Because someone's made a mistake. You can't escalate mistakes. People make them. It's human nature. It goes with the territory.
Would you not put a statement like that back in the day when you were at the top of the house at Palace?
I would put out a statement saying...
Get them thinking.
No, I would put out a statement saying what an appallingly bad decision. I had one exactly similar. Freddie Sears scores a goal away to Bristol City. It's the back of the goal. It's the back of the net. Bounces off the advertising hoarding at the back. Gets given as a goal kick.
Yeah, but that was funny.
It wasn't for me. No. My point was I questioned the competency of the referee. I turned around and said, this is a very poor decision. It's not on, it's unfair. I didn't say, I'm going to escalate. I want escalation and resolution, because I knew that there was no methodology to be able to achieve either.
So, Stuart, the bottom line is football prepared to accept human error? Because this is what this is. This ain't a technology problem. This is a communication problem.
I'm not sure that the fans are prepared to accept it, because every time there is error, let's say, and I think all VAR has highlighted, there's grey areas in football. I sat in a stadium at Villa Park and there was 2 or 3 decisions that I scratched my head with, and I think, hang on, I've played the game for 40 years and I don't agree with certain decisions. So do we have to re-educate ourselves in many ways and say, look, there are grey areas, accept it, you're not always right. The only person who is right is the referee, and hopefully VAR.
Respect the ultimate authority, pricing the idea there's going to be mistakes made. Somebody told someone somewhere that this was going to be a foolproof system that no one was going to make errors with. And now you're judging them by that standard, and it's bloody stupid. And people in the media need to do better, and ultimately fans need to manage their expectations. Because whatever you haven't got is the reasons why you're not successful. No, we need transparency. To do what with? Then we need to have broadcasts inside the game so we can hear the decision-making process. To do what with? So that you can boo and hiss and create pressure on.
So is Liverpool's statement meddling in this?
I think they're just being mixers. I don't think there's going to be. What are they going to achieve? Do they want VAR stood down? Is it what Liverpool's? When Liverpool next the beneficiary of VAR, will they be writing a letter to them saying, actually, we need escalation and resolution because our team got the benefit of a bad VAR decision? It's as silly.
Well, Ange Postecoglou spoke post-match and said, look, everybody's got to realise this thing isn't foolproof.
I think I'm on record saying that I've never really been a fan of it since it's come in. The biggest problem I think that we have, or we seem to fail to grasp, is that no form of technology is going to make the game errorless. We used to understand that errors were part of the game, including officiating errors, and you'd have to cop it. Some people copped it better than others, but that was part of the game. The game is littered with historical, refereeing decisions that weren't right, but we all accepted it. That's part of the game because we're dealing with human beings. But I think they're going to make mistakes the same way managers make mistakes, the same way players make mistakes. When you put such a high bar on something, invariably it's going to fail. So if people are thinking that VAR is going to be something at some point that is perfect, that's never going to happen.
Nicky's a Spurs fan. That was your manager talking. Nicky, what's your take on all of this? You lot won it.
Well, calling you from Thailand, the land of smiles, long way away. That's the game where India, believe it or not.
Right.
I think it's a very simple solution, in my humble opinion. I've been going to football for nearly 60 years, and I don't like the lines. The lines are too finite. It's a very American idea, in my opinion. I think if there's a chance of an offside, that the referee, who should be in charge of the whole proceedings, goes to a screen which he's got easily at his access, and if it looks like the player is onside visually, without lines, it's a goal. The advantage goes to the striker. And I believe that every fan would say the same thing. have a look at it. Yeah, he looks level. Give the goal.
Yeah. It's well seen that you're speaking from the land of smiles, because that's a very relaxed, laid-back view in all of it. Like, yeah, what do you think? Yeah, give it. I mean, to be honest, he's gone, has he? I mean, I kind of like the call, Simon, but people won't accept that.
But why have we ended up where we are? Why have we ended up in a situation where technology... We saw situations like Frank Lampard scoring the goal against Germany in the 2010 World Cup needed goal-line detection systems.
Yeah, or 1966 when it shouldn't have stood.
But why are we here now? Because there has been this implicit, I should say, not tacit, refusal to accept on-field decisions. We've had 360-degree... 7-day-a-week, 24-hour analysis of every single refereeing decision, so it almost became impossible for referees to do their jobs without technology. Now we've moved on to technology, and we're still using interaction. We can campaign for AI if we want. We can get rid of a lot of them and have artificial intelligence be able to do it, and we'll still find someone that complained about it. The problem is why have we ended up here, and what did we expect to happen? Did we genuinely expect human error to be eliminated? If we did, grow up. The only grown-up in the room in this conversation so far has been Ange Postecoglou. More of that sort of thinking and a little bit less of the hyperbole would be better for football, I think.
There's John the Villa fan. You'd think someone as intelligent as Simon could come up with something better than people make mistakes. And comparing a player diving to referees influencing results and league standings. It's quite bizarre.
The referees influence results by making mistakes. Players influence outcomes by making mistakes. Managers influence outcomes by making mistakes. The fact of the matter is, I'm sure Matey Boy there makes a mistake every day of his life, and yet he's the only person that doesn't.
So is this a tipping point, or do we stick with it? Scott, Villa fan, you've been waiting a while. Good morning, my friend. We're bound to stick with it, are we not?
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Morning, yeah, good. Thank you. What's your take on it?
Good. Yeah, so I was at the game Saturday, the Villa game, and season ticket holder, and the first four goals were, all checked, and I agree with the Liverpool caller a couple of calls ago. It does take, and it's a completely different kettle of fish to rugby, and I take Simon's point on it. It takes that euphoria, that, how quick and the pace and tempo of football, and it's instant. When you score a goal, you want to celebrate, But I seen the referee straight away on the first one, and I held back a bit. I was like, right, his hands to his ear, what's he checking? Same again, and it was every goal up until the fourth one. And Stuart, slightly disagree. I think Zaniolo weren't quite in line with the keeper. I don't think that would have, with the outcome of that goal. But the other one, which a foul, Douglas Luiz landed on him, tripped over his own leg, landed on his leg. It's a foul. That shouldn't have been given. But again, there's the opinion coming in, and human error, you're always going to get that. And it's,
right,
and Ange is probably right as well. But I didn't, but obviously the Liverpool-Tottenham one, I think that's a communication error, and someone should have stood up.
Do you think we're wasting Do you think we're wasting a lot of hot air talking about whether VAR should be in or out? VAR is in. We need to educate ourselves a little bit more and be a bit more level about the way we perceive certain decisions.
I do. I agree. I don't think it's here to stay. People who say, no, let's just get rid of it and it's gone. It's gone too far down the line, down the river with that one. But I think we've just got to have a bit of realism about it. And granted, I mean, the decisions, I can't remember what bar the... I mean, we're at the game, and it didn't say, because it said that going forward that you're going to see what they're checking for. I think a couple of the checks, it didn't actually say what it was for.
Okay, Scott, listen, thanks for the call. We'll shift it along a bit, because as we head towards 11:30, I mean, Simon, does this come into it? Fatigue. Does that come into poor decision making? It's understood that Darren England, who's at the centre of this, and Dan Cook were part of a refereeing team that officiated in the UAE 48 hours earlier. It's emerged that they oversaw VAR for the game between Sharjah and Al Ain in the UAE Pro League last Thursday. It's understood the members of the party arrived back in London on Friday.
I don't know.
Should that happen?
Well, people can travel first class, can't they? And get off after having a massage and a pedicure on a plane and go be fit for the purpose. People do it all the time. Now, the only people that know whether they were fatigued and jaded and not fit, I mean, they were involved in 90% of the game. They made a dreadful mistake here. No one should want to defend it. No one is defending it.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about is the characterisation of it. If you want to dig up, he took his kids to school at 7 o'clock in the morning every day during the course of the week. Should he be fatigued? And the point is that they were away. Yes, we can make that argument. It's a nice little link. They shouldn't have been away 48 hours before a game.
Yeah.
Look, no one knows what's going on in people's personal lives, but you would expect the guy, to be fit for purpose.
I don't know what's going on in your personal life. A massage and a pedicure, you don't get those in EasyJet.
No, I don't fly on EasyJet.
Did you get that on the train from Preston the other day?
No,
From the old lady, even if she didn't want it.
It would have done me
Jim
a
was the one
power
who was doing
of good. A power of good. Howard Webb, when you're ready to speak, we're here.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.